Hello guys, it is Teenage DC Fan back with another video, and this is my final Gotham review. So, the series finale of Gotham was on a couple days ago, and it's sad to say that it's over, but at the same time not. This honestly used to be one of my favorite shows, actually my overall favorite show, but towards the end it wasn't, because this show started to honestly suck. Like, seasons 1 through 3 were like amazing. Season 4 was eh. And then this season was also eh. So, yeah, but anyway, I'm just going to do my review now. So this episode is called The Beginning. This shows the 10-year time jump for Gotham. But before it jumps 10 years, it shows, so in last episode, Bruce left Gotham, and this episode shows him getting ready to hike up the mountains so that he can train and become Batman. And I'll get into the Batman stuff more later. And you can see my reflection on the screen, so yeah. Anyway, so then you start the 10-year time jump, and then you see Jim. He has a mustache, but then he ends up shaving it after like one scene. I'm fine with that because it was still like wasn't white or anything like comics Commissioner Gordon or anything. So yeah. Yeah, back to the review. Yeah, so he wants to retire as a cop. He's commissioner and stuff. I forgot to mention that in my review for the last episode, but that happened in last episode. And then Bruce Wayne is coming back to Gotham, so that's nice. And then you see Barbara's all grown up. I mean Barbara Gordon, who later becomes Batgirl. And then Barbara Keene, she now has like red hair, and I think that's how she looked in the comics. So that's that. When I saw the trailer, I thought that was Poison Ivy, but it's not. So yeah, then you see, and I may be going a little out of order here, but then you see, you're in Arkham, I think, and you find out that Oswald Cobblepot is getting out of jail, and then Ed Nigma is still in Arkham, and he finds out about that, and then he sees that a few inmates are beating up and torturing someone, and then he walks over to them, and he sees that it's Jeremiah, and he's like, "Do you know who this is?" And then it basically goes on to make it sound like Ed was protecting Jeremiah, and then he says, "If you're gonna do it, then at least do it right." And then he like stabs him in the leg, and Jeremiah does nothing. He just sits there because apparently he's like brain dead or something. Like ever since he got fried in the chemicals, he couldn't like think or talk or anything like that anymore. But then the gates open, and then a bunch of cops come in, and then Ed gets kidnapped, and then you see Echo, aka Harley Quinn, take Jeremiah out of the room, and you'd think that she'd be kidnapping him, but then later you see that she just takes him to another room. But then staying on the subject of Ed, when he wakes up, he finds a box with a note, and it basically says that he, well, it's from what's his name? Oswald. Yeah, Oswald. How could I forget that? So it's from Oswald. So Ed thinks that Oswald got him out of jail, and he's like, "We need to work together. I'm planning something big and stuff like that." Okay, got that back up there. And then there's a crate full of dynamite, so he's gonna use the dynamite. And then at the same time, there is a gala going on at Wayne Tower because it was just rebuilt, and Bruce was coming back. And then Ed is gonna blow up Wayne Tower, but um, then Barbara stops him along with Selena, who I forgot to talk about, but I'll talk about now. Um, yeah. So, Selena is Catwoman now, and she steals stuff, and Bruce was watching her as Batman. So, like, through this whole episode, Bruce is Batman, but you don't actually see him in his suit until, like, the last scene of the episode, because throughout the rest of the episode, when he's in it, it's just like he's at the window watching, and then you see the cape flash by or something, and he does fight the Joker. Um, yeah. So then Selena's there. She's still mad at Bruce because, well, he left her. He broke her heart and all that good stuff. But then Ed wants to wait for Bruce to show up. But of course, Bruce never does show up. So then they stop him. He goes back to Arkham, and Oswald gets out of Arkham, or wherever he was, and uh, then they meet up. Everybody realizes that Oswald wasn't the one that broke out Ed, but then Ed and Oswald break out of that basically they were caught, and again, and then they break out of that van, and then Batman stops them. He shows up, ties him to the pole, and then later you see um, Jim and the other cops show up, and they're just hanging to the pole and stuff. That's pretty much it for them in the episode. Other than that, uh, like I said, Bruce, there's not too much of him in this episode. Jim, he pretty much went over everything with Jim. Lee's pretty much the same. Oh, Harvey, he goes to track down the cop that kidnapped Ed, but then that guy like kills himself because he long story short, when he finds the cop makes him listen to a phone call, and then it basically explains everything, and then the cop's like, "I'm sorry, but I have to do this," and then he shoots himself. And then later on, Harvey goes to the GCPD and he confesses to killing that guy, even though we know that the guy killed himself. And Jim and the other GCPD officers know that he's lying and that he wouldn't have actually done that. So they put out, they start an investigation and stuff, and then that is when they find out that it was Jeremiah Valeska the whole time. So then we see, yeah, and so back at the Wayne Tower Gala thing, they discover that there's like C4 dynamite underneath the table that shows the plans for the future of Gotham City, and then there's also one under the one of the buildings on the plan thing. And So then they figure that out, and then that is when they discover that Jeremiah is out of prison and that he's back at Ace Chemicals. And I'm kind of jumping all over the place in this review, but it's just like I say what comes to me at the time. So I'm just gonna go ahead onto the part with Jeremiah. So he gets out of prison with Echo, and then they go to find Barbara, and it looks like they're about to kill her. But then Barbara, of course, being the badass that she is, she protects her daughter, and then she's about to kill Echo, but then Jeremiah ends up shooting Echo anyway. So now Echo, aka Harley Quinn, is dead, and then Jeremiah shoots Barbara. She's not dead, but uh, Jim finds that her on the ground along with his daughter Barbara. And I forgot to mention the whole naming thing from the last episode. Uh, so uh, Barbara decides to name her Barbara Lee Gordon because it's like it's part. So then she's like part of the whole family, kind of, because there's Barbara for her mother Barbara, then there's Lee for her father's wife, then there's Gordon for her father's last name, and yeah, so that's cool. But then Jim goes to yes, I just remembered something. Jeremiah kidnaps Barbara Gordon, not Keen. Um, so then when Jim shows up to fight Jeremiah, Barbara is hanging from some rope above the chemical vat, and Jeremiah is about to drop her, and he's holding up the rope that like keeps her above the air or whatever. And then they get into this fight. Uh, Jim ends up on the ground, but he's holding up the rope. And then Jeremiah shoots him in the back. But then you see a batarang fly through and hit Jeremiah. And that is the part that I showed you in my trailer breakdown from a couple weeks ago, where he reminded me of the Cesar Romero Joker when he made that weird face and the laugh, that really good Joker laugh. And then another batarang comes flying through, hits him in the head. So now the Joker's dead too. So I get that they're ending the TV show, but they didn't have to kill off Harley Quinn and the Joker. Like, when shows end, it's not like the universe ends. Like, things still keep going on, we just don't see it happening. So if they left those two alive, then they could have left it up to our imaginations to pretend that they just occasionally fought Batman every once in a while. But then Jim sees that it's Batman, and then later he knows that they have a hero in their city, and then he gets out the old thing that ends up being the bat signal, the light thing that you can aim on the clouds and then it makes the big light circle. And he's there with Alfred and Harvey, and then they look up and they see Batman, and then this is when we get this first official reveal that you can see on screen there. It looks very much like the Dark Knight movies Batman suits, but it's an okay suit. It's not great, but it's pretty good. And that's pretty much it. Uh, yeah. So this is the end of Gotham. Wasn't a very good end, but it is the end. I think I'll still make some more videos on Gotham. Like maybe sometime I'll do a Q&A possibly, like maybe a live stream Q&A, or I'll do a video of like what my favorite season was, my favorite characters, my favorite villain, or maybe I'll do a video of Jerome versus Jeremiah, which one I like better and stuff like that. So stay tuned for that. Just because Gotham's over doesn't mean we have to end the Gotham videos. So yeah, let me know down in the comments below if you have any suggestions for that of other videos I could do for Gotham. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And I hope to see you in my next video so I can bestow all my DC knowledge upon you.